There is a subculture that has thrived in the depths of the internet for decades. A community where people spend thousands of dollars on full-body animal suits and live out their wildest dreams. They're called furries. Now, I've known about furries, I've seen the memes, I've seen the TikToks and the weird news headlines, but deep down, I never really understood them. I don't think anyone does. Why do people spend thousands of dollars on fur suits? Why do they identify with animals? What do these people even look like underneath the costumes? And most importantly, why does the entire internet think that they're so terrifying? To answer these questions, I'm stepping into the belly of the beast.
I searched all over social media trying to find someone willing to talk. Most were camera shy or just didn't want to.
But then this happened.
Hello?
I saw that you were a part of the furry community, and I was curious to know if you would be open to like sort of an interview or maybe a day in the life video.
I'm a little bit hesitant just because, you know, we as furries, we kind of get a bad rap.
There's definitely not any sort of malicious intent or anything like that.
Okay, let me talk to my wife and then I'll definitely get back to you about it for sure.
Thanks, bye.
Bye-bye.
Shortly after that phone call, the furry I spoke to, Z, agreed to let us come over and film. And today, it's happening.
So today's the day. We're going to be meeting a furry named Z, and I don't know what to expect. What do you think? His name's Leo. He looks like someone tried to draw a cat and then messed up. This is not the only furry we'll be meeting today. Let's get after it. So, we made it. Z told us to meet in the lobby. Hello. You're Z. Nice to finally meet you. I'm Ryan.
Nice to put a name to the face. Really quick, I just need you to sign something just to kind of give us a little bit of insurance that, you know, the fandom is going to be portrayed in a positive light. Unfortunately, we face a lot of stigma. So if you don't mind just signing that really quick.
Oh, okay. No, that's cool. Cool. Good to go.
All right.
I'll give that back to you.
All right, follow me. We're going to go ahead and head up.
Z just wanted to make sure this wasn't a hit piece or some big prank. Once that was cleared up, we were in.
This is Z.
Hi.
Where do we begin?
So this is our office. This is where we keep a lot of the things that we need to make fursuits. I run a fursuit business, Pawfoot Production. A lot of that is making the actual costumes for people to wear at conventions and fur meets and things like that. This is going to be how it starts off, kind of a foam base here. You can go ahead and hold that if you'd like. So for example, this one is going to be a pigeon. You can see the little like sear and stuff. From there, you build on it with more foam, glue, fur, everything. And then you cut out the eyes and the mouth, and that way you can breathe and see out of them.
We have all the fursuit supplies.
Yeah, so something that any fursuit maker will tell you is that you'll never have enough fur because you never know what design you're going to make next, you know?
How much do these run? Because I've heard they're thousands of dollars.
They're a lot. I would say an average price for like a partial is about $4,500.
Partial. So now you don't even get the full.
That could run, depending on the maker, that could run up to 20,000.
Shit. So you can't be broken doing this hobby.
Yeah, there's no way.
What's the deal with this one?
Did not expect you to pick that up. This is a pup hood. There's a separate area of furry that's into pup hoods, and that's kind of like it's not a kink. Well, it is a kink, but it's a different area of it.
Maybe I shouldn't have touched that one.
No, I consider myself a hyena, so this is my little hyena hood. That just sits right there.
So you're just here cooking.
Yeah, this is where I spend a lot of my time, just sitting in my little chair, working away.
I want to see your fursuit.
Oh, yeah.
What's your dog's name?
Snacks.
Snacks.
Yeah.
Snacks.
All right,
Oh,
so this is our closet we don't open for a lot of people.
Oh, exclusive. Oh my
A
god.
little exclusive sneak peek here. So these are all of my fursuits. We've got Scout, we've got Bannock, Calypso, Nyx. These are just little paws that my friend made.
This is a tail.
Yep, that's a big tail for you. And it actually has a hidden little belt loop in here, so you can just wear it right on your belt.
I actually got a furry belt on right now.
Oh, there you go. It'll work perfectly.
Y'all see it? Hello.
He's a king pigeon. He's bigger than these guys here. I actually saved him from a meat farm. So this is Peaches. If you hold your finger out, she'll probably kiss you.
Oh,
there she goes. And
finally, someone kissed me. Been waiting all year.
Oh my God. Yeah, so she's still going through her shed right now, so she might be a little sensitive.
What got you into furry fandom, furry hobby?
Furry, yeah.
Furry lifestyle?
Actually, really interesting story about this. I was not a furry until maybe 2018. I went to a public park and I see a truck full of furries drive by. They're waving at people, you know, I'm like, that looks like fun. I want to do that. So I kind of just jumped into it and started looking it up. I looked up werewolf costume and then it led into furries. And then I was like, I didn't know that they could just make these, you know? Then I just became a furry. I mean, it was pretty easy. You know?
Wow. Can you describe this specific character?
This is Scout. She's a hyena. Very custom character of mine that I really put a lot of thought into with the colors and the fact that she's a hyena, you know, kind of based off of me.
You resonate with hyenas because what, you see yourself in them in a way, or?
Yeah, exactly. You know, they're kind of seen as like, I don't want to say ugly because I don't want to say, oh, I'm ugly, but being a bigger person, having that judgment against me. I'm not super pretty to look at, but I love to laugh. That's like my favorite thing.
Wow.
Making jokes and having a good time with friends, things like that.
You said this is your first one, your first fursona. Do you have more?
Oh, I have too many. It's actually a problem. And that's the thing with the fandom is you could have one that you just really, really love, or you could have tens, hundreds if you really wanted.
How many do you have?
Scout, Ranger, Sparrow, Calypso, Crumb, Doodle. I have like maybe 10. I don't have suits for them all yet, but that'll happen one day.
I have to ask this. Is this a kink thing? Is there a sexual undertone to this?
What you said, is it a kink? That's a very common misconception. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and try and candy coat it and say, oh yeah, furries, we never have sex, whatever, you know. There is that part of the fandom that is not safe for work. A lot of people who will go to conventions and, you know, find the party rooms and stuff, but that's not the majority of what we are. Even like at anime conventions, and there's horror conventions even, these conventions will always have that not safe for work side to them. All these fandoms, there will always be a not safe for work side, and that's simply human nature. I mean, like, I'm very self-aware. Furries are weird, you know, but we like it that way. A lot of the time I'll just say, like, keep furry weird, you know, we want to keep it that way.
Keep it weird.
You know, I'm not gonna be bold-faced say like a lie and be like, yeah, like, look at, like, this is normal, you know, because in the public eye it's not. And, you know, speaking of, you know, having so many friends and stuff in the fandom, I kind of have a little bit of a surprise. Since I knew that we were going to be doing this, I kind of invited some of my friends over, if that's okay.
You invited your friends over?
Yeah, and they are all in full suit.
They're here?
Yeah, they're waiting outside.
Okay.
Yeah? Is
Yeah.
it cool if I tell them that they can come in?
Yeah, that's cool.
Awesome.
Okay. Hey everyone! Y'all want to grab a seat here? We got some room. Don't be shy now. Lovely weather we're having tonight. Where do we begin? Where do we even? Maybe we'll just start with everyone can say their name or the name of their fursona, rather.
Neon Raven.
Ryder or Shepherd.
Coma.
Rouse.
Chess, nice to meet you.
Galleon the deer.
Nyx.
I'm Scout. You know me.
You're able to use that if you're getting hot in the mask or need extra air.
Yeah, it's just so you can chill out. Like,
I want to know how you guys landed on these specific fursonas.
I'm a really big fan of birds.
And that's it.
Yep, that's it.
And is a raven your favorite bird, or?
Well, actually, this is supposed to be a parrot, but I like ravens too.
I've always had an insane fascination for foxes.
me, this is a partial, so I have another persona, the main one, but this one, I just love dogs, blue dogs.
It all started with Sonic the Hedgehog.
This is Rouse. He's a video game character from Deltarune.
I was about to say I recognized
I'm a cosplayer, so I made this whole thing.
you.
Me.
What? How did you land on this?
Okay, so this is kind of a mix of two deer species. First one is the Chinese water deer. They're called musk deer. They've got fangs.
I'm familiar with those, actually.
Yeah, they're really neat. But the main thing was American whitetail.
And do you have a full suit, or is this?
I guess for the people that are uninitiated, you got a full suit, which is like the whole body deal you got going on here. And then
That's serious. Same shoe size as me.
And then you've got people like me, the partial suitors. Partial suiting is typically where a lot of people get started because it kind of lets you dip your foot in the water without having to commit the big G's to wearing a big carpet.
I just saw this one online and I was like, I love the colors. I like that it kind of feels like space, like colors and theme.
Are you guys hot in the suits right now?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, you guys want to take them off? We can shoot the shit a little bit more. There's real people behind it. Is this a form of escapism?
So I think you hit a nail on the head in a sense, because everyone's story is gonna be a little different. But I think escapism, huge one. Everyone I know ever that's gotten a suit is like, I can dance my ass off and not worry about it. People are obviously still observing you and looking at you, but they don't know it's you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's an opportunity to be faceless.
Exactly. Yeah. Some people keep their identity a straight up secret.
There's a lot of military people that are furries, a lot of IT, a lot of scientists. So it's like, it's just a good opportunity to be a goofy little guy for a little while, you know?
How do you guys deal with the hate and the scrutiny that you get?
Like in my case, that I was a Mexican fur, it's just different. The hate is different. Like people overage just think that this is weird and that it's gay.
I've never really had an experience where someone has been directly like physically doing anything with me in suit. For the most part, people are really sweet.
It's probably just an online thing where people have their 4 cents to give and not.
Sort of. If suitors are walking around at night, people were driving by and literally just full force chucking eggs and rocks from their cars driving by. A lot of people that don't understand it straight up like fear it.
This was catching my eye on the boat. Can you break that down, the thought process on that?
So instead of like a parrot on a pirate ship, it's a pirate ship on a parrot.
Because like birds don't have tails, but this does. Because it's a fantasy bird.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's actually something that a lot of people will wear to show other people who they are. It's art that depicts your fursona that you can take to fur meets or conventions or whatever.
Is there ever beef in the furry community where it's like, oh, that's so-and-so, you don't say nothing to them?
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's the thing with any small subculture is there's going to be infighting, especially one where it's so identity-based. People take everything very, very personally.
I had a question about this too, like, with all due respect, I know you guys are boyfriend. Yeah. That's like okay. You're thick as hell. What's in there?
So what I actually have in here to imitate it, my fursuit maker added pads. That way I can have the actual legs to it. I can't do it with the heels, so I have actually like my paws. Oh. They're actually pretty big.
These suits that have the padding in them, it's a workout. You actually have to plan, like, I need to hydrate 2 days before. I need to make sure that I stretch before I do this. And then, like, the feet, even, it's so hard to move in them. It's like waddling.
It can say a lot about who they are, like, the same way that how you dress can say a lot about who you are. At the end of the day, it is a costume and we are people.
That's the thing is like, it's a hobby. Like no one's ever like, oh my gosh, you play video games, your whole life must be video games all the time, and you go to the video games, and you go to the video game, and you play a video game, you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's the same thing with this.
I feel like there's some overlap between like the anime people and the gamers and the, I don't know, the goths or the punks or whatever. What's that Venn diagram look like?
There are different spaces, but there is definitely overlap, especially with anime, like even just cartoons like Zootopia, that's all gonna have like overlap.
And do y'all belong to any other, would you put yourself in any other category?
Oh my god, yeah.
Anime.
Right.
Anime. Also like fur meets where like people just go to the park or go to a bowling alley or they just hang out like a social event, like a just
Tomorrow.
a meetup thing, you know?
So then when's the next event that you guys are going to?
You know, actually, there's a furry event happening tomorrow, and I could try to see if I could get you in if that's something you're interested in.
Tomorrow. Am I allowed to film? Can I document it?
Oh, yeah, please. I think everybody would really enjoy it, honestly.
Okay. Oh, shit. Well, you said you don't have to dress up. Are people gonna judge me if I come dripped out like I am now? This is drip, by the way.
No. But I mean, if you want to dress up, feel free, but there's absolutely no pressure to.
I'm there. 11 a.m. Brian's coming too. Yay! Well, we're here. They made me sign a contract. I had to sign contract. Everybody signed it and everything. Just some things because this isn't something open to the public. This is like a members only sort of vibe. But wait, there's more. We have the $15 Walmart kicks, which are part of the fit. You see them. Second part. My logic was like, you know, they're kind enough to let me into the function. Like if you're gonna go to a football game, bro, wear the colors, bro. Put on a jersey or something. That's good, right? That's
yeah,
good.
that's fire.
I'm part rat, part ape. You know, I didn't think that I'd be doing this, but this is for the viewers. We in the ball pit with it. We in the ball pit. Oh, hello. Who are you?
My name is Cat Craze, and obviously I'm a cat.
What's your name?
My name is Luxo.
Astro.
And Astro, what exactly are you?
Raccoon.
Mars, the axolotl. Freeho, the dog.
Today I'm here with... What exactly are you?
Well, I'm a red fox.
How did you land on that?
Raccoons are actually my favorite animal.
You know, ever since I was a kid, red foxes were kind of like my favorite animal.
The axolotl, that's interesting. Those are those little pink things.
Yeah, they are, yeah. The ones that are found in like the Mexico rivers.
So what got you into the furry community? What about fursuiting appeals to you?
I get to be somebody else. I get to play another character, and it just helps me get comfortable with who I think I am and I would like others to perceive me as.
My inspiration for how the way mine looks is actually from a childhood toy that I've had since I was, I want to say around 9 or 10 years old, and I just leaned into more of making him into this real life persona.
Normally, I'm very secluded in real life, and I tend to be socially anxious, but once I put the head on, I can start to get a little bit more creative and more energetic, so I can start to be more comfortable around others. It's just nice being able to connect together and talk about our own little guys that we've made.
But what drew you to the furry community?
I really like Five Nights at Freddy's, so that game I thought was pretty neat. And I was like, I want my own animal creature that's like the animatronics. They're like a bunch of different animals, so I was like, oh, I want my own that is like that. Drawing them and creating my own stuff just based off of that is where I kind of just grew further into finding about furries.
What was the inspiration behind the suit? Even got the talons too? Do you think that wearing this could help you get out of your shell more in real life?
For me, I would like to get more comfortable with myself so I can start to be more expressive around others in my daily life. But for now, I think this is a good like intermediate to help practice so I can get more familiar around it, because as somebody struggling with social anxiety, it's been very tricky for me to try to socialize with new people. But when I'm in an environment like this where I know everybody has a common interest, it just helps a lot with talking with others.
How do you feel about sharing your hobby to your siblings, to friends, coworkers, etc.? Do you keep it private and not say anything, or are you like, yep, this is what I do?
For me personally, I don't share it out as often as I should. Not that I'm ashamed of it. I like being a furry. It's fun. It's interesting. I like it for it to be brought up naturally in a conversation. Like when someone says, oh, I like Halloween, and like, oh, me too. I actually have this costume right here that I can wear 24/7 whenever I want to. And they're like, wow, so you're a furry? And I'm like, yeah.
Oh, I'm loud and proud. I guess they find out first. I'm chill with it. I'm like, oh, you know I'm a furry? Oh, that's cool. Sometimes they'll be like, oh, aren't they like weird? And you know, you have to kind of like explain to them what's going on. After that, I think they're like, oh, you know what? That's actually pretty cool.
I'm just out and open about it. I don't let anyone really judge me for it. Like, sure, it's a little weird, but even my coworkers, friends, like they see what I'm doing and they're like, wow, that's like really cool. That's really interesting. At least the people that I've met haven't really found it to be like off-putting or weird, really.
How do you deal with haters or people who don't like what you do or think it's weird? Yeah, it's like brush it off.
Well, there's always going to be haters for anything that you do. At times, I can find myself sort of ignoring it in a way. I'm just like, well, they don't know. It makes me happy. And I think focusing on what makes me happy that doesn't hurt others is what's most important to me at the end of the day.
Don't be scared about what other people think about us, and just embrace who you think you are. I myself was stressed about it originally, but it doesn't matter about those guys. There's going to be somebody that's not going to like you, so ignore them. Find the people that do like you and spend your time with them.
I'm gonna be honest, I ignore it. If you give the time of day of your life to people who just want to ruin you or want to make you feel bad, I feel like that's giving them power. I guess just ignore them. Of course, obviously, like if they're gonna start being like hostile directly towards you, like, hey, what the fuck? That's where you be like, okay, you need to chill, you need to back the fuck up and stuff like that. But normally, you know, just keep your cool, walk around, just ignore them.
Do you think the fursona that you have, or the bird sona that you have, do you think that that is an extension of you, or do you think it's a completely different identity. And there's essentially two identities. Okay, a bit of both. How long do you see yourself doing this? Could be forever.
I don't see any point when I'd want to stop. It might stay like on the down low and separate from my usual like work and school life, but I still intend to do this for a long time. I really enjoy this community and I enjoy this as a hobby.
What do you think your purpose is in life?
I guess for me, just survive. Make enough money for you to be able to like be okay in the future. I have siblings, right? My mom's all the way in Mexico. I'm taking care of them right now. And I guess my very, very first priority right now is just to make sure they're okay.
Like that. That's noble. If nothing lasts forever, does anything really matter?
Nothing lasts forever, but I think it lasts forever in the sense of how we pass it on to generations. Stories last forever, but people may not.
But let's assume, everything explodes at one point. Does anything have any meaning?
For me personally, that's an uncertainty that I'm willing to bank off of. So I would rather try and do something at the end of the day than to do nothing because I think that it means nothing. I'd rather feel that it does mean something than at the end of the day of thinking it could not mean something.
And if it ends up to not having one and everything crumbles, well, at least you lived your life fully expressive and doing what you wanted to do.
Exactly, I tried.
We got a lot of bird pin. We got the egg. Do you have a favorite pin, or what's the thoughts on the pin beanie? What is it about people who are autistic that draws them to the furry community?
Again, I think it's just that sense of welcoming in the community that people like. And again, there's a lot of other people that could relate to you. So there's going to be a lot of people with similar experiences and they can help provide advice. Because I myself, I've been diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome when I was younger in elementary school. It's gotten a lot better, but it's been really interesting finally having other people to kind of like talk to and relate about my experiences.
Do you think life is about seeking happiness or meaning?
If you find meaning in something and you kind of like really connect with it, I think that's where happiness is. If you have something you really like, feel passion for it, and you're like, oh, you know what? This is awesome. I feel like that's happiness.
When people meet you, when all is said and done, how do you want people to remember you?
I just want people to remember me in a good light, as in like, oh, I feel like this person made me feel like I could be trusted or I could be myself. Like, I really want people to remember me as someone who helped them in a way.
Is it better to live with comfortable lies or harsh truths?
There's never going to be a life where it's just going to be comfortable. For you to be able to live okay, you're going to have to face some harsh truth, if you're just living in comfort, you're not going to learn anything. You're not going to know everything.
And what is this on the back here with the flag? You heard it here first. And any last words, anything you want to get off your chest? Couldn't have said it better myself. A smooth sea never made a skilled sailor.
Absolutely, yeah. For you to be a skilled sailor, you have to go through, rough winds, rough tides. You got to learn how to maneuver the boat. Because if you're always in like a calm sea, nothing happens. You're just like, oh, I'm fine. You're not going to know what's going to happen whenever like a big wave, comes, right?
And when a big wave comes, you'll get wiped the hell out.
Absolutely.
And is this all custom? Because I've never seen this. Completely custom. Check this out. Yo, you can't write that. You can't make that up. What's crazy was right when he was here and squeaking, they were like looking at him. The birds were like, they were walking towards him, and then he freaked them out. Time for the group photo. So at this point, we all got together and took a group photo. They let me sit front and center. Everyone who was at Z's house, who I spoke to the day before, all came to this meetup. It was actually kind of nice becoming friends with them the night before, and they introduced me to more people, and we really just hung out and talked. I said I was hungry, and they immediately got me a cheeseburger and fruit snacks. I could tell they were really going out of their way to make sure I was comfortable and having a good time. We ended up putting the cameras down and I just hung out with everyone for another couple hours. But what I thought was interesting with this group of people was that they embraced me in a way where I felt like I didn't have to put on an act or a facade. I could say corny and embarrassing stuff and didn't have to worry about anyone side-eyeing me or judging me. I've been to a lot of social events throughout college, a lot of LA parties. You tend to have surface level conversations with people. You go to events and sort of hope that people like you and think that you're cool. I don't know if I'm speaking for everyone here, but I feel like you kind of have to censor yourself when you're in public, and you have to present a sort of palatable, toned down version of yourself in an attempt to not come across as weird to other people. But when I was with these people, I was able to just be me. Nobody cared that I was a YouTuber. Nobody made any judgments about who I was or who they thought I was. They didn't care about why I was there. They just sort of accepted me and wanted to get to know me. It was a really refreshing feeling, and it's a feeling that I'll never forget. Well, I guess this is it.
I guess so.
I want to say I really appreciate you for taking this time to welcome me into your community, because in my line of work I deal with a lot of scrutiny all the time, and the way that you and all your friends welcomed me into your world, it made me feel so special and so important that I couldn't have asked for anything more. So I just want to say I really am grateful for you and all your friends.
Of course, honestly, and we face a lot of scrutiny ourselves, and it was really cool to see somebody come out and really paint us in a positive light and be so open-minded to understand, what we're all about. So I really, really appreciate it, really.
Wow, thank you. I guess this is where we part ways. I guess I'll see you later.
Yeah, see you around. Hey, wait,
Yeah?
will I ever see you again?
You'll see me around.
Awesome.
Hey, wait.
Yeah?
Stay weird.
Stay weird.